Greetings! Today I wanted to share with you the final results of the collab challenge with JRPDesigns Beading Channel. I will have a link below or in the little cards section here featuring the video that she has posted, as well as you can check out what she made out of the stuff that I have swapped with her. But without further ado, sadly I wasn't able to finish this piece because I ran out of beads, which always seems to happen to me. And I should really stop trying to make necklaces. But anyway, this is the final piece. Sort of, mostly. I didn't finish, I ran out of these. But I'm not sure about this piece. It's a very interesting constructed piece, and I think I made a poor decision using brown because I was kind of inspired by frozen berries on top of branches when I saw these shapes, so this is kind of what I came up with. And I might buy some more Ron Trios to try out this pattern again with a different color combination to see if it kind of tickles my fancy a bit better. So I started with the back of the piece forming this little netting and kind of doing two little strands of herringbone in between using all three holes of the Ron trio. And I didn't use the disc duos because the angle was a little too wide. So the perfect angle was from the trios, so I just kind of used that. I designed this piece to be falling a little bit below the collar, a little bit below choker length actually. And it would actually make an interesting belt or waistband too, in front of like a plain dress or something. Nothing patterned or anything, but yeah, let's go over. I have, let's see, 12mm pearls. I used one in here, and I had intentions of using one for the toggle on that once I got to that point. I have to find, this is actually my second one I've made on the beaded netting, because I couldn't find my first one after I made it, and I have a feeling one of my cats dragged it off. So, one of those is not present, but you can kind of see what I did with that. Made kind of a little acorn thing. Let's see, the 6mm Ron trios, those are scattered about in the little netting parts. The 4mm bicones I kind of scattered inside of the little drops here. You can kind of see there. I used some in the focal piece and some in the little berry drop here. 2x3mm rondelles, again I used kind of intermittently. I've used some in the netting here, I've used some in the cab here, and I think I'm going to make a tutorial of this one if you guys are interested, but I'm going to smooth out the transition a little bit, because that's kind of what I use these little rondelles for here, to kind of smooth out the transition between these large triangle beads and the delicas down here. The disc duos was what I omitted. The pendant beads, 10 pendant beads, are the little crystally drops here, I believe. Let's see, the super duos I used obviously in the cab here. The 4mm rounds I also used in the cab here. The little bubbly bits on top of the pendant triangle beads I used to kind of section off and widen the area for the netting to start. And then the 8x11 drops I kind of hung on top of the cup beads. And the cup buttons are what I used to decorate. Ah yes, and I used these frosted white, or crystal A-beam at size 11C beads. I used this, I don't know, color-lined cranberry color in size 15. And then these are my delicas, which you can see I've like run out of. But I wanted to keep enough for me to like go to bead shops and be like, hey, is this the same color? So yeah, I used delica bead number 287 for the main piece, which is an interesting amber. Brown lined amber, that's what they call the color. So, which I kind of like how it looks. Like, when I was building it, I was kind of like, eh. But it's kind of got something, like, almost Starship-y looking, which is really cool. And kind of almost, you know, it's kind of Art Deco, in a way. And the netting, I kind of screwed up. I'm sad to admit. I twisted it in one place. I used some sections that are bigger on one side than the other side, so it's kind of loose and saggy, and I don't like it. This was definitely a learning process. This is definitely a exercise in technique. And yeah, there are definitely some things that I will need to do again. As I was doing this, I kind of made myself a really, really busy design chart, and kind of worked like cross-stitching, and wrote all my numbers down of how many beads I should use, and yeah. So that was fun. So, look forward to this kind of tutorial in the future. Let me know what you guys think of it down below. And I really, really enjoyed this challenge. This was a lot of fun. This one was definitely something out of the box, outside the box that I just haven't done before. But again, I was kind of thinking of like frozen berries on top of some branches. And yeah, that was a whole lot of fun. But what do you guys think of this piece? I think it's really, really interesting and dynamic. So let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this edition of a collab challenge. If you also, please go watch JRPDesigns Beading Channel to see what she had come up with on what I sent her as well, because it'll be a lot of fun. So anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me on this little adventure. I hope there's going to be future challenges. I'd love to do it with JRP again, because that was fun. And there might be some other collabs in the future, but I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break so I can do some more designs for you guys. And yeah, and of course, if there's anything that I need to be trying out right now, feel free to leave me a comment down below, and I will see you next time.